We're gonna go live together. Thank you.
Okay, this is probably better.
Yeah. Okay. How many times is the word "fuck" used in the book? Oh, didn't we do a word count on that? It was over 300, right? It was like 350 or something like that. It was a lot. He's in background. Yeah, it was a lot.
We like the word fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm writing the other one, and Cassandra keeps trying to shove it in the new book, and I keep rejecting it.
In the
You can't
twist.
have a 12-year-old say fuck.
Well, you can. I don't think.
Yeah, well, not in medieval times, no.
I don't know what the medieval term for fuck would be back then.
No, it was fuck. Fornication under consent of the king. Fuck. So. It was hard. But yeah, no, I think it's 350 tons. And the funny thing is when I'm pulling the quotes to put up on TikTok, I have to put censored, and I realize how many times I'm actually having to use a little censored sticker because every single quote, I think except 2 or 3, has fuck. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so bad. But hey, it's who this character is. And it's also my favorite word. So there you go.
We're live with Renee Rocco, the writer of Havoc, the 3rd book in the Master of Mayhem series.
Yeah, but this one was my favorite one to write. So I love this story. It's so cool. It's the Mad Viking.
What
Havoc.
about who's your
Havoc is the Mad.
Havoc is your favorite character?
No, Wraith is my favorite. Okay, it's weird. Wraith is my favorite anti-hero because I don't call them heroes. Mine are not heroes. Wraith is my favorite anti-hero. Faith is my favorite heroine. Havoc is my favorite book. So I like them a lot. I like this story. This story just worked. It just like, and when I'm sorry, I'm such a Gen X. I have to sit with my knee crooked up, but the way we sit. I set up his story when I realized. How would I torture someone? Marry them, right, Frankie? Just marry them. Cassandra wanted to know how I would torture someone, and I said, marry them. He's laughing. But I set up Havoc, the scene that made me want to write his book so badly, and it's like so weird because it's such a small scene and it's such a passing moment with him was in Wraith when they're all in Sanctum and he's laying on the couch and he's kind of like half stoned and half like drunk, and he puts his hand out to Jamie and he's like, you, and he says that as she's walking by, and I don't know why, like I nailed that character right there, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to write his book. And it's something like so stupid, but it was in my head the way I saw him and the way like characters in my brain. I was like, I just can't wait to write him. So, yeah.
I like Heather's character, and what I like too is about I've talked to you about it before. Is your heroines relating to illnesses that your daughters have, so that kind of like brings them and brings awareness to people who might not know much about them, like the epilepsy and the diabetes.
Well, it was funny. I got you, and I normally like. I mean, we all get like kind of every writer gets shitty reviews, so they don't. I don't really care for them because not everyone's gonna like your book. But one was very confusing. In the same review, the woman said that I used diabetes. This was obviously for Jester. I used diabetes too much, and in the same review, too little. And I was like, what? Like, yeah, it was very confusing, but whatever. It was what it was, and I just thought it was funny. And with epilepsy, I really didn't make it too big of a deal with Carrie because it's not really a big deal in my daughter's life. She just takes a pill and she's fine. That's kind of really all it was. It's just she takes her pill and she's fine. So she just gets on with her life and that's it because that's really all it is. So.
Yeah, I like that though. And they're strong too. They're badass women. I like that too because it's most people don't write strong females. They not smart ones.
Well, that's too stupid to live.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like those. I try not to be one of those. So I'm trying to raise those, so I don't want to write them. I don't like to read them, and I like I'm gonna bounce to um Twisted. I was saying to Frankie last night, I was writing in bed, and I was like, turned to him and like, I probably irritate the shit of him because I'm always like, oh, and then with whenever I'm writing, and but I'm like really passionate about Twisted because I've always liked um I mean, come on, everyone's gonna know. There's really not many people on here, so I could say it. I put the braid up, so everyone's gonna know who it is. I really love Rapunzel, so I'm like badgering this woman day and night with thoughts on the story. And when you're writing something, you don't realize like how many plots are in like fairy tales, and there's so many plot holes, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm trying to like to fill in all the plot holes. And when I write my characters, it's the same way. Like I want to like fill in any plot holes in their characters. When I write women, I don't want, and this sounds so stupid. I don't want them there to be like plot holes in their characters. Like if you're gonna write a strong woman, she can't have plot holes in her personality. So if
Right.
you're gonna be strong, be strong. If you're going to like, it can't, I don't want to use the term stupid. You said it. They can't be stupid and strong at the same time. Like if you're gonna be like big and brave, don't make a stupid decision that's going to make you look stupid.
Right.
But you're weak and strong at the same time, if that makes any sense. Like I'm strong, but I want my husband to take care of me sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if I got a cold, I want to crawl up in bed and be sick. You know what I mean? So
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. But having weaknesses or being, naive or having moments where you need, somebody to take care of you, that don't necessarily make you weak. That just means
exactly, that makes
that
you human.
you're just a human. You need that.
Yeah, yeah. But I noticed that a lot, like a lot of things that I've read lately, and I don't call out anybody, obviously, but they mistake strength for like inhuman decisions and inhuman kind of characteristics, and I try not to do that. So I think like that's what I liked about the way that I wrote Carrie is she's feminine and strong in her own ways. That's why like on the hardcover version I really liked the word resilient because that's what she is. She's
Right.
strong, but she's she has some moments of weakness, and she comes from a very privileged life where she really doesn't have a lot of challenges. And this is the first major one that she gets hit with is in this book, and she comes out of it very resilient. Like she goes through it resilient, and I love that word for her because to me that's kind of the way she was in the book. So I like that.
Right, because she was, I mean, she never really had to deal with anything but being rich and living her life, and then all of a sudden, wham, life just smacks her upside the head. And she's got all kinds of.
Yep.
I like the part where I don't want to give a lot of the book away, but when they're in the basement and they have, what's going on
Yeah.
there, and she's like, are you doing this for the fun of it, or are you doing it because, and she's like. She like sets it down, do it if it needs to be done, but and get it over with. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing it for fun, then just end it.
Well, the funny thing is like I'm right now. It makes me sound so bad, but it is what it is. I take like a lot of like scenes like that, like my own morality. If someone hurt my family, where would I draw the line? Like where would I stop? Because I know if someone like let's say if a man hit my daughters, where would I stop? Where would my hard limit be where I went for vengeance into pleasure in hurting the person who hurt my child? You know,
Right.
would I handicap or would I keep the skin bones? Like where would my hard limit be where I was like, okay, deserved it. And now I'm gonna go to pleasure and a little extra into unholy territory, you know. And I guess like as a parent or you have to like kind of draw a line, you know. And I bring that thought process into writing these very questionable, morally gray characters. Like I like exploring, and it makes other people uncomfortable, but I don't get uncomfortable exploring that kind of crazy side to a person.
See, I like that though, because I get tickled. I like sit there and laugh, not because the scene's written funny, but I laugh whenever somebody's getting their comeuppance, whenever they're getting, they're what they deserve in books. I think it's funny, so I like crack up. Like I don't know if it makes me crazy or what, but I do. I think it's funny, so I'm like, yeah, I'm kidding.
Well, the funny thing is that like I wasn't protected growing up. Like I wasn't protected in my first marriage, so that like left a scar on me. And my husband now, when we met, he is very much like those strong characters from that I write about. And he was very like outward. So that when I write, like that's someone who is obviously, I base these characters off of, and he's always in the back of my head, like what would he do? And then I kind of take that to a new level.
Oh, your husband's your real life book boyfriend.
Well, when we met, he said, "I'll just put him on." It's not English.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
I was like, please marry me.
I mean, I'm glad though that you're happy now that because I know you went through a lot, in your past and stuff, and now you got beautiful kids and a husband that treats you well and a good marriage, and you deserve all that.
Thank you.
And
But
now we just need to get your books up to get you
what was your
back up.
favorite part? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part, I like the whole book, but my favorite part would probably be the sexy scene. And I like to like I said, I like it that like Carrie really, even though she's feeling vulnerable, she she's strong though. She's a strong character, and I like that. She and it's like Havoc expected her to like fold up and just be like, oh my god, and just like because she had to leave everything in the city behind and all that, but she didn't. She was really strong, and she knew she had to be strong because she had to worry about what's going on in her family and the things that's happening to her too. So I like that. I like the whole
But
book.
she was supposed to be completely different. She was going to be very meek and very just very vulnerable and very quiet. That's if I don't know if you remember how she was in Jester. That whole scene in the Black Bean, she was very quiet and very. That's how she was supposed to be. She was supposed to be very like, oh my god, like unholy. That's how I was gonna write her. And Havoc was gonna pull her out of that and make her like not make her like just introduce her to the whole world of the unholy. Like, it was we set more in mayhem, and she was supposed to be like scandalized, and that's how she was supposed to be. And then I don't know, like this.
But to me though, it's like Havoc bring that up, like bring more, let her, she could be more of herself around Havoc than she can anyone else.
The whole book was different. And then because like see, I'm like what they call a writer. I don't plot. I don't think I outline. It's just when I just kind of it flows. So I had a whole different idea of the way Havoc was supposed to be, and it was supposed to be set more in mayhem, and it was supposed to be like it was supposed to be like this big party at and I'm gonna say it 'cause I don't know, whatever it is what it is. The way that I originally had formed thing was there was gonna be this big orgy scene at Sanctum, and she was gonna be like, oh my god, and I can't. It's gonna be like completely. It was And then it just, I don't know, it just didn't seem like, I know you would have loved that, but it didn't seem organic. That I, the point I wanted with who these characters were, it needed to be more insulated. It needed to be more intimate just between, because of Havoc's backstory, I wanted it to unfold and I wanted it to be told and I wanted him to heal from it. It needed a more intimate setting, one on one with. And then when I sat down to write, this is came out. I just saw a cabin, and I saw them, and that whole scrap scene. It just didn't seem right to who either one of those characters were. And this right that came. Like, it would have been like too much background noise for them, and I don't want background noise on them.
Right. It's more intimate them being together and him figuring out, she ain't the Miss Priest he thought she was, I like that.
I felt like he was though. I still felt like Chris in certain ways, but I guess she didn't come across that way. She was, but I guess she was.
But I mean, I understand, she was, like a girly girl, but she wasn't what he thought she'd like crumble, I think. And when she didn't, it like
Yeah.
surprised him. Well, to me
Yeah.
anyway, that's how I took it. Like
But see,
that.
again, I lived in Pennsylvania because everyone expected me to last like 3 minutes in Pennsylvania and hate it. And I ended up loving it there. Like, if it was so cold and it didn't need to snow, we would have been living up where I said in the mountains. Just, I love it up there because it's a real Mayhem is a real place. Mayhem is a real place. It's Honesdale, PA. So if you look it up on a map, you can trace the whole town. But yeah,
My,
so it
and
ended
I
up
also like.
being
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
what?
I liked Discord. I thought he was funny when he went to visit them in the cabin.
Oh my god, so many messages so far. Everyone who read the book, they all want to know when his book is coming out. I'm like, oh my god, let me write it first, then I'm gonna write this. Apparently, he's a smash hit. Everyone loves him.
People like to rage characters. I can't
The
wait.
funny thing is, I up in my brain because because you gotta remember, I write a prologue in every book, so I know, like, not like, but in my head, I've known this character since he's like a little baby, and like I'm 8, like he's growing in my brain. So by the time I get to his book, he's gonna be like all grown up. I'm him from like a baby.
But I
It's
like too how like he comes off as funny and flirty in it, but he's really got this dark side, like which I'm sure will come out a lot in his book. But I like that he was funny, and he was like trying to get Havoc to act by flirting with Carrie.
the name of the book is the we're talking about, and it's on Amazon Kindle Unlimited. There it is. Thank you. It's actually today, but yeah, I'm trying to introduce him about the series. So,
He's my
but yeah,
favorite.
he's everyone's favorite. And
I
I only
I think though that Carrie's my favorite out of the females. And so far, like without Discord's book, I would say Jester is my favorite unholy. But then
he was
Carrie's my favorite female.
he
But
was a pip to write. So
but
funny to be in his.
but when Discord's book comes out, he's gonna be my favorite. I just know it.
Part is going to be a mix between his brother Havoc and Jester, but his humor, like, I'm already kind of like, I'm already putting it in my head. Like, I'm already getting in his headspace, and it is psychotic. Like, I'm already making little notes. I'm sorry, she didn't hear. The book is Havoc, and obviously Renee Rocco, and it's on Kindle on Amazon Kindle Unlimited if you have an account. So thank you. But yeah, his book is going to be interesting. And like I said, I have to out, and that's the only book I spotted only because since it's the fourth book and the series is going to close out. I'm planning his book, the whole series, so I know like who his heroine is, and I have like the whole scene in my head. Everything. Thank you. Oh my god, so much. Like
His are,
I actually wrote the whole
she's got his screen covers too. They're pretty cool. They got skulls on them.
thing.
But
So,
that's the racy ones. We like the with the muscles.
but yeah, I like I said, I had them when they're gone. Hmm. Should I start? Okay, so the first book is great, the second book is Jester, and the third book is Havoc. But they are series you do not need to start in order. You can only so you know all the characters, but I made sure that you could read them all in whatever order you want. I don't, I'm right 15 books in, to know who's who. So you could read whatever order you want.
Yeah, you can read them
Thank
as
you.
standalones or whatever order. But Wraith and then Jester, then Havoc, and then the Scored would be the next one. But you also have other books coming that you're writing too.
Uh, should I talk about that one? I should talk about that one. So
I
I'm
think
like
you
really
should.
excited about it. Okay, so I've always wanted. I'm totally in love with Rapunzel, and Tangled is my second favorite movie. There is Infinity War, and then there is Tangled. So I am obsessed with Rapunzel. I am writing a filthy, dirty, nasty um, adult fairy tale, and it will be a clip. And the first book is Twisted, and the second book will be called Twines. So yes, and it is a reverse harem. I've laid down the groundwork on that. Haha, you will like. So I've laid down the groundwork on that. So there we go. Thank you. Yeah, but dropping little promos for that. Very wanted to release Havoc, and now that his book is out today, I can start. But yeah, I know. Never written one. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting. So yeah, yeah, it's fun.
I've
Yeah,
read some of it. It is pretty good.
well,
I like it.
I what is I put two promos out on paper, and people seem to have liked what I didn't see the stuff yet because I only just wrote one little snippet scene so far. But I put promos just to get like people could get a feel of the characters, and so far people like it. So I don't know. I've always wanted to write a fairy tale, and a dirty one, so we'll see how it goes. I want one. I'm looking for one cover artist to make my, and I cannot get you. I can't get her to write me back. So I'm like, I've now written her like 5 times. I'm gonna keep going. You know the cover for Hooked and Scarred, now Wretched. That's who I want to make the cover for this. So I'm like going like, yeah, promos, yeah, on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. So in like another maybe 2 weeks, I'm gonna start like, promoing some artwork and little snippets. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely start releasing some of the twisted, not twined yet, because that's gonna be later on. But yeah, so get
When do
ready
you
for
think
some
you'll have
Rapunzel.
Twisted out?
I'm shooting for July. Yes, I didn't read Hooked or Scarred. I started Hooked and then I stopped because I thought it was a fairy tale, and it's modern, contemporary. I was like, oh, good premise, but I thought it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But for everyone, it was good writing, great story. Just it ended up not being a fairy tale. I really wanted a fairy tale, so because I'm really into that right now. So, but yeah, but like From what I read, it was excellent. But I was at the time I was writing contemporary romance, which is I didn't want to kind of get jumbled in my head, so I had to put it.
I think that people are going to really like the Twisted because they are into reverse harems these days and uh, fairy tale remakes. So,
Well, yeah, it's a good like. So the way that I'm doing is that everything that is good in Rapunzel is now evil, and there is no Prince Charming at all. Who um, the hero? And I use the term very lightly. Heroes. Oh, I gotta keep saying that. They are all so it's been fun. So yes, we need many more of them. Yes, absolutely, and I will contribute to this much needed genre.
but you're writing another one too, though, aren't you? I thought you was writing a dark reverse harem too.
You know, so I still have the file. Kind of put it as besides Frankie. Would no, I won't answer that.
What's the question?
You see that question?
I
TV
can't
shows
see
and
the
movies.
question on yours.
Yeah, you know, TV shows and everything. They play safe. They really do. They play too safe. You know that those shows like that they need love too, storylines, but they won't do.
Is Cassandra being naughty over there?
Can we make fiction about my character?
She.
But yeah, I was actually I told Frankie today that I can't believe that I'm going to near the end of uh, Masters of Mayhem. I've so it's kind of strange that I'm going to be finishing the series. I only have one more book left.
Does Frankie read your books?
I read them and I don't read very well out loud. So this poor man has to sit. Me being very stilted when I read awful. And don't even get me started when I have to read the sex scenes. It's like then like it's like a really weird game of Twister. It's terrible. He should have had to- I totally I watched all the Vampire Diaries. I was very upset by this. She should not have had to choose. But that is a whole argument, another live on for days about that. Yeah, that it was like a kid's, a teenage show, whatever. She should not have had to choose. That was bullshit. So there we go.
What?
Oh, okay. You want to see what? Now he's feeling a little bit better right now. He has to stay 6 feet away.
You should show off your books that you have, the books you got
Oh,
back there.
you go. There's my little Funko Pop there. There's my little babies. Yes.
I was really hoping that these would you'd make these Audible books too.
But quite the expensive. And I do not lie. I'm very honest. They are quite expensive, so they will have to wait a little while. So yeah, I was this close, and then I had a scrap wraith, and yeah, we have to wait for that.
Well, I mean, you know what though? You know, a lot of books though aren't famous to like 10 years after they're wrote. So
I know. Yeah, well, not every author, but the big authors, they don't always put them out right away. So, like I said, people aren't like, oh, we got to get Wraith audio, so that no one's racing for it. So.
I vote for Tim Page. For
Okay, so funny story about reading with audiobook. So I did put it up on, was it Audible? I did. And I started, oh, this was so funny. It was so cringy. I started getting musicians come in, and my daughter and I, the old one, we were listening to them, and mm, it was so bad. Hearing some of these people do say the wraith parts. Oh my god! It was like, no, just stop. And it was. I was just like, you know what? I'm sitting down. I because they would be like this, and it was just so bad. And I was like, no, no. And then the women were awful. So no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I know.
And that,
Their voices make or break an audiobook. I could like the book when I read it, and then go to listen to audiobook, and I think, oh my gosh. But
no, no. And I would have taken my earbuds out, and I would just. So no. Mm-mm. There was one that I did because everyone who knows me, as you know, I love Saving Grace. My favorite book, Saving Grace by Julie Garwood. If you have not read it, like stop what you're doing right here and go read that book. So I bought the audio book, and it was a couple of summers ago, and I would be by the pool, and I would be looking at this, and it was nailed. Like it was so on point, and it put me in the story. And unfortunately, I don't have an Amazon account, so I audiobook, and this summer I'm actually going to buy it again. It was phenomenal, phenomenal. So yeah, that was the only audiobook I've ever enjoyed. So I don't listen to that. I like to, but yeah. But I'll do it one day.
somebody else, Aisling Maggie, do you know her? She's an author. She recommended me to read that book too, by the same author. I was like, it must be a really good book.
But I love Julie Garwood. The whole shelf, Julie Garwood behind me. They're all beaten up and just mangled. Like some of the spines are so cracked that I'm. But oh my god, they are. But that book is just. It's my favorite. It's.
There's a couple of
Mhm.
them by her. She told me I needed to read because I told her I didn't really read historian romance. She said, "But you need to read these." And I was like, "Okay."
The funny thing is she writes in a style that now would be considered unacceptable because she switches. First of all, it's in third person, and she switches points of view from one paragraph to the next. But it's so seamless that you don't even realize that like you're in one like the hero's character, the hero point of view, and then like the next paragraph, the heroine's point of view, and back and forth, like ping pong, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. It's just such a seamless story. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect writing. Absolutely perfect. But I don't know. I'm biased. I just love it. So
I've never read it, but I have it on my TBR, which
you
is a
have to
mile long.
quiz you on it. I'm telling you, I'm going to quiz you. So you have to read it. That's like your homework. I'm giving you homework. There's an assignment. You must read it. So there we go. Put down my book and read hers. She's a master.
I get asked all the time what my favorite books are and authors are, and I'm like, I don't have one. I like them all. Whatever book I'm reading at the time's my favorite.
Okay, well, I'm going to working with a cup of coffee. I'm going to tell you my amazing husband what I've told you. I'm going to tell this very nice lady what my husband did for me with Saving Grace. So again, favorite book, favorite author ever. One Christmas, this amazing man that I met, I get a Christmas. I open this beautiful, and there it is. It is Saving Grace. This my copy had been read literally to death. So I open this amazing Christmas present, and there, oh, the book you replaced my book. How wonderful! That was just my husband was so thoughtful to replace my book, and then it got better. I crack open, and there on the title page is Julie Garwood's signature, but not just her signature. It said in her handwriting, "Dear Renee, I am so glad you found your saving grace. Love, Julie." My husband found a way because I work for a publisher. So sneaky, I love this man. Went behind my back to my publisher, someone who works that I work with, and he found a way to contact Julie Garwood and get her information and wrote through an email, and together they conspired to have her sign saving grace for me and gave me this for my birthday. And I
Best
also have
present
all the
ever.
emails. I know. Because in my first marriage, very, very bad. And that book saved my. I know it's wonderful, it's amazing. Because that book made me believe, because the heroine is she was abused by her first husband, and it's a medieval romance, and back like property, but she got her second chance and she had her happily ever after. And that book made me believe that I can get a second chance after. And that book literally saved my life. At my darkest moment, I turned so cheesy. Oh God, but it is what it is. We all love romance here, so we all know how it is. I believe that I can save that book, and I did, and I had my happy ever after. I guess I have my saving graces. See, there you go. You're going to love this book, and so you write me on Instagram when you're done. Rocco author. I want to check my messages here, so please write me on Instagram, and when you're done, and please let me know what you think of the book. I will wait for that, please. Thank you. So yeah, that's my saving grace story.
That's sweet though that a book touched you that much.
Yeah, it really did, and that's one reason why I wanted to write. That's like when I've always wanted to write since I was a little girl, but one of the reasons why I wanted to write was I wanted to put out a story. Oh God, so just so cheesy, just like a fine fromage. But I really wanted to put out like a meaningful story so that I could I could inspire someone. Like someone will like take Havoc for instance, and without giving what he goes, through, but someone will read that. Oh, I'm not a well, okay. If this character can go through that and come out for it, I can too. But I don't know, like, the way that I believe is, and the characters, so did I. So someone might, even though it's a fictional character, someone could relate to that, and say, well, maybe the author can relate to that, and maybe that's why she or he wrote that character that way,
Right.
and maybe I can hear from that too. I, that's just something that always stayed with me because of Saving Grace. It really kind of cemented that for me. So I guess that's why one of the reasons why I like things so that I am happy and they're happy ending, happily after. I don't want to say happy ending exactly something else, but maybe it's why I still want to. I'm still me even when I'm being serious. And maybe someone will be a little inspired. So thank you. So
I,
yeah, so
I
not me. Yeah, so
I can see that though. That havoc being a helping someone seeing, that things aren't as bad as they seem, and that you sometimes you go through shit, but you can come out to be a better person.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. I've always wanted to be like again. Oh God, it's gonna sound good, but yeah, that's one of the things. Like when I write, that's one of the things I think about. Like, oh my God, like see, like I thought about that. Like, wow, someone might read and oh, I do what Havoc does. No, he stopped. Maybe I can too.
Right.
Thinking like, and I know which is a fictional character, but fictional characters they inspire people. I mean, like again, like look what Saving Grace did to me. It inspired me and inspired me to get to a better place in my life. Like people, things that we create, you know, create, fictional characters of the in movies and books and stuff. It connects with people, and I put that out. You know, that's meaningful to me. Like I don't like when I write, I try not to write like useless drivel. If that makes any sense. Like Wraith is a heavy character. The storyline is a heavy storyline.
Jamie,
E-
I like Jamie's character in Wraith.
Yeah, yeah,
She overcome a lot, and she had to do what she had to do to survive. And
yeah.
I mean,
Like
she was a brave character.
yeah, like even like Jester, like even though like that storyline isn't like that heavy or whatever, but if you think about what I put Faith through with having diabetes, like even though it's just like not like a part of like the storyline, but that was inspired by what my daughter goes through. Now maybe someone who has diabetes, I like Cassandra. I love her. No, but maybe someone who has diabetes reads that book and she sees, or he sees that even because men read romance too, that, oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm just like everybody else. Instead of feeling like, oh God, I got to do this shot today. Every time I get, I got to do a shot. Because I know that that's a big bullshit that my daughter got to go through and it annoys her. She doesn't, sometimes the disease, she doesn't feel like a normal kid because every time she eats, she got to do a shot. She got now carbs. But maybe, like I said, someone that feels like, God, I don't want to do this
And
shot
it also
today.
shows,
And that's a bit,
that
yeah.
you need to be with somebody who understands what you're going through when you're having sickness like diabetes, and that they need to be there and help you too. Because all through the book, when Jester would help her, would make sure she ate, would make sure uh, her blood sugar was good and stuff like that. So, I think that's like
But now
showing them what they deserve in a relationship.
I was exactly now someone could read that has it, and if they're not with a partner who will do that, it can occur because that's what you need. That's what you damn well, you know. Like I said, I'm not saying I want to change the world, but maybe I could help inspire one person to have a good moment in their life. Maybe someone's having a shit day, and then they that a little bit better. Because I know that in my darkest, I'd say, and my day got a little bit better. It made my life change. Literally, one book changed my entire life because I might not have had the strength to believe that I could have better if that fictional character was better. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
Oh, good night.
bye.
So,
Uh,
but yeah, that
and like Havoc making sure Carrie took her uh pills too.
and that is because to take her. So right there, it was a mom. He did a mom moment. So, like I said, I try to put little pieces of like my own life in the books because they're human. It's not like my life; they're just little human aspects, and it's just I don't know that little things like that make it believable. It elevates a story into from a story into something that's a little bit extra. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I know I have a model when it comes to writing, but I try every book I try to do a little bit better. So it was fun writing it, with you guys every day, texting with you in the middle of writing. It was so fun. Fun. I had Cassandra in the file, and I was chit chatting with you guys. It just made it such an adventure. It was not lonely for the first.
It's fun. I enjoy I enjoy it, just being a part of it, and
Oh,
just
part of
my thoughts and throw it in there. And I'm not much of a help, but I try.
it. Yeah, you are. Yeah, very lonely. It's one person sitting at the computer with nothing but her imaginary friends. So having real friends holding my hand while playing it
or
it means everything. So
or be
there
on a
you go.
message and be like, "Does this sound alright, or is it stupid?"
How are you? So the lady who just joined, this is Gilmer. She has been my friend literally since the day I entered the industry. Oh my God. She was with Sam Hain Publishing. We were like, she's, oh my God. Hi. Oh, I love her so much. So, yes, she's an amazing lady. So, yeah, she's a staple in this industry. She's an amazing person. So, and a great talent. She's someone too. So, yeah. Hi,
Hi, what's her name?
Candace Gilmer.
Hello,
So,
Candace. I can't say who
she
comes
was
in
some.
on your side.
Yeah, she
Is she a writer?
stayed. Yes, yes.
What's
Oh
her
yes.
genre of books? What kind of books does she write?
Everything, right, Kansas? Right, a little bit of everything. Contemporary romance, paranormal romance. Yeah. She like I said, she was with Sam Hain when she was she was already in the industry when I first entered it. It was already like woof, like a somebody when she's who I wanted to be. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah, see. Oh now okay, so she writes science fiction romance and paranormal romance now. But yeah, I remember Loop Guru. I her book Loop. Oh my God, that was my favorite girl. But yeah, that was fun. That we came up, man. Fun those days when ebooks were still considered like the dirty secret of romance. Like, oh, we weren't even considered real authors back then because we were like into like we were with small press publishers. If you have a paperback book, you weren't even considered an author. Yeah, like the things that we put out, like the math paperbacks, those weren't considered real books. And books, yeah, we did come together. Yeah, we we would go to together, but like authors like us, like he published, it was considered. We would go to conventions and we would go to conventions. We're like snub, like people would look at us, ugh, like garbage and trash because we e-published. So yeah, we came a long way from that. But yeah, she stayed strong, man. I failed for a while, and she stuck out. She's going strong. So yeah, it was.
I say though a lot has changed like over the years because like writing the way people write is even different now than it was. Like when my mom used to read like them old Harlequin romances, they're a lot different like romance books today.
Oh yeah, they had strict rules you had to follow, and there were some houses like oh my God, I don't even remember which one. I think was it Laura's Cave? Where you had to have a sex scene every certain certain amount of pages or something, if I remember correctly. I don't. It might not have been a Laura's Cave, but it was. I don't even know if you even know who Laura's Cave is. But there was like small press publishers, and there was so many rules, and oh my, everything was so. Yep. See, yeah, you had to have a certain amount of sex per page, like per certain amount of pages, and oh my God, there was so many rules. Like I still write like that, not like a certain amount of things, but like certain rules. Like I was driving Cassandra crazy because like the word that, like oh my, we were taught that was the ugliest word you can use. Like get rid of it. Like just get arbitrarily get rid of it. Now, yeah, it's so much more relaxed and fun. It's more fun now to write.
Hi, Stacey. How are you doing? This is Renee Rocco.
Uh,
She wrote this book. You ought to check them out because they're very good.
but yeah, Kansas, yeah, follow, and that was small. Trade publishing was even worse, and it's still the rules are still crazy for trade publishing. The rules that the authors have to follow. Oh my God.
Now it's
So,
a free for all most of the time, especially the
but
indie writers. They go wild.
yeah, but it's fun now. You could be more creative. You could just be like I said. I can write a filthy fairy tale, and no one can tell me no. So you could
Right.
be whatever, right? Whatever your creativity could just run wild. No, who's going to tell you? The only people that are going to tell you no is your audience. Like I'm not really selling well. So I'm not gonna lie. I don't have nothing to. My Masters of Mayhem series is not selling well, so I can change up. I can write something else. Try to see if I could pick up an audience writing something else. I could write whatever I want, and that's no one could tell me no. It's my audience dictates what I can and cannot write. Not
And
not.
usually, if you like, if you'll get a fan, like fans, since you know your Masters of Mayhem, which I think are awesome books. They're like my favorite because I think they're awesome. But
Thank
like your Twisted series, your duet, when they
you.
come out, the people who likes that will be like, I really like these books. I'm going to check out the other books she has written. And so,
Exactly. Yeah. We could be more creative now. Oh, where back then it was so regimented and there was a class system in place. You wrote an ebook. You were, oof, no, that's not even a real book. No, I barely even read print books. If it's not on my phone, I'm not reading. I read after my husband goes to bed. What am I going to do with a flashlight? The days are done. But I made a joke on Instagram not too long ago where I was reading outside. This was actually, I was reading a paperback, and I'm like, look at me like it's the 90s reading a paperback. I don't even like that. My phone. My whole life's on my phone. My work is on my phone. Half my writing is on my phone. My books are on my phone. So yeah, see, yeah, even Ken saying it's true. So
yeah, the only books, well, I have books that like I've been sent by authors and stuff for like, but mostly my books, like my actual physical books, is the books I love and that I'm going to
you keep.
keep, and
Mhm.
that's and they're usually signed by my favorite authors. So, but that's what I keep as my physical book. But I got like a couple thousand books on my phone.
Yeah,
So
of course. Collection of ebooks myself. So
I try to get a book a day in at least.
I'm
And
going to rest tonight. It's getting to be 9 o'clock, and I have to help my daughter do her insulin shot. So
okay,
she does it. I have to wrap it up. Jamie, thank you so much for talking so much. Jamie's my everyone. So Jamie, they are. So this was so much fun.
have fun.
And thank you, everyone. And Candace, it was nice to see you. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Thank you.